Good morning, everyone. Hope you understand the deployment process, the ALM process, and related to the Scrum, how to, uh, take a decision, how to prepare a Excel sheet related to the sprint planning, and what types of different teams we are having. Good morning, everyone. So, if you have any concern, any questions related to this ALM process, let me know so that we can discuss and we can proceed further. Anything related to the interview questions, any process that you have any issues, any concern, let me know so that we can discuss. Because in every interview questions, if you are joining that interview as a fresher level or experience level, this ALM process will help you to get most of the interview questions here. D365 CRM. So, hey, Nishant, good morning. So, have you tried to, do this particular process, like you tried that ALM process? So let me give you. So there are multiple questions, especially for initial level, as well as if you are switching your career from non-technical to technical domain, then we may have multiple interview questions. This is plugins and this ALM process. They will always choose, like, this is the hot topic that you may get multiple interview questions and how to proceed. So let me share my screen so that we can discuss further. 1 minute. I hope you can hear me properly. So we already covered what is ALM and dynamic CRM. So how you are developing your applications from development to production. So if you receive any requirement as a user story or task, so how you are completing as part of that development task, owner level unit testing, then deploy into QA, and then moving into UAT environment, and then pre-prod, and then release management, and then it is deployed to production. Till the time it is moved from dev to production. So that entire process covered under ALM process. So if someone asks, hey, what is the ALM process that you are following? So that ALM process is nothing. Application lifecycle management is the process to maintain application development, testing, deploying, releasing, maintenance, support in dynamic CRM, environment. We already covered this particular one in recent, our uh, call. Requirement gathering, development, source control like PR process, that entire process we are having, build and release management, testing, deployment, and monitoring and support. Main goal here is controlled deployment. Controlled deployment means it is not like anyone can deploy anything. We have to do a proper process oriented deployment. Reduced production issues. How to reduce our production issues? That's why this ALM comes into pictures. If we are processing complete this ALM process, then we can identify all the issues in our lower environment, either during user level testing or on a level testing, or maybe QA level or regression level testing. Better governance. What better governance means? We have proper control, like who is doing what and what types of component we are moving from dev to production. Faster release cycle. Here release, if we have everything maintained and properly managed, then we can complete our deployment and these release items. So here we have release related technology. We have this D365 CRM and Microsoft platform, Power Platform. If they are asking what is the ALM process for Microsoft Power Platform, so answer should be the same here, right? Any doubt? Okay, now comes into the what is the difference between managed and unmanaged solution. So most of the interview question we are getting that level of questions like, hey, when we have to use managed component and when we have to use unmanaged solution. So you should understand. So how many types we have in our development environment, like what types of solution we are having. So someone asked how many types we are having as a solution. So we have three types of solutions: managed solution, unmanaged solution, and default solution. Default solution, we are not exporting, we are not importing, right? But we have and we are utilizing for deployment only two types of solution: managed solution and unmanaged solution. Managed solution used for production, cannot directly customize component, support clean uninstall, more secure layer based deployment. So here unmanaged solution, like we don't have any layering concept in unmanaged solution, used for development environment only, can modify component directly, cannot install. And even in unmanaged solution, if you have deployed in any of the environment, you cannot delete. Even you deleted those solution, you cannot roll back your component. So this is more flexible for developers. Best practice: dev we have unmanaged, and test, UAT, and prod we have managed solutions, right? So how to check our managed or unmanaged layer here? Let me try to show you something so that we can check here. Okay, meantime, okay, what is solution layer here? Solution, this particular one is not uh, very useful for beginners level, but this will helpful for especially for at least if you are having more than 2 or 3 year of experience, that this particular ones comes into the picture. Because most of the developers who is having more experience, they are especially doing the deployment and they are part of the deployment activity. So solutioning layering, what is solutioning layer here? So solution layer, we can maintain our solution layer. Okay, let me show you practically as well. So base solution. So ISV solution, custom solution, and patch solution. Topmost layer is override lower layer here. Okay, here you can see, I think we already covered the solution management. If you have any doubt, you can go through our recorded session and check the solutioning layer, that solution management, where we already covered the clone, patch, and how it's work related to the different layering part. But suppose if we want to check the different version here, so here even the C history, so we can check how many times we have deployed which particular solution we have imported here. So we can check all the information here, and even the if a solution is imported, if a solution is published, everything we can check here in the solution history level. And if we want to check any specific component, and one more thing, I just want to tell you, if we want to check some dependency. So suppose if I want to check form level layering, I'm opening a form. Suppose this is a form here. I want to check here. You can see solution layer. So we are talking about this specific option. How to check that one? Just click here, because this is dev environment. We don't have multiple here layering, but even if we have, oh, we have multiple dependency and even the layering part for this, because this is the out of the box solution here, and this is the component. See here, this is the best example that I can show you here. So this contact form, that is related to contact entity, we have a contact form. So this contact form is developed and added firstly related to this particular solution. So this is the base solution we have. So in that base solution, so we already talk about this base solution. So under this base solution, so Microsoft has provided some default component. Now that Microsoft, this is also Microsoft solution. Why? Because here you can see this particular publisher is related to the Microsoft. So Microsoft created a patch, common patch, msdyn underscore app common patch. So they have created one patch and they have added some of the component here. We can check that component also. What types of labeled customization what they have done as part of this particular patch part. So updated items, so everything here, if you want to check those information, if you have more understanding related to the debugging part and the information level, so you can check all the information here itself. Here you can check this particular form is developed in how many solution it is coming under, and this is also showing the dependency also. So this particular unmanaged layer, so it is showing default publisher is this one. So we have done some unmanaged customization here. So what we have done, this is, so we have created some of the field here, we have done some of the different customization, but this is the unmanaged layer that will always top on all other managed layer. So we have base solution, ISV solution also related to Microsoft custom solution. Maybe we have created a one custom solution, like we have created one this one solution which I have showcased related to the training one. So this is the custom solution that we have created. And then patch solution. So suppose if we have created any patch solution under this particular solution section, so it will cover all the customization, and the topmost layer will be unmanaged layer here. So first layer will be related to this base solution, then this is multiple different layer we are having, but topmost layer will always as a unmanaged layer. So recent deployment solution will always second, and then maybe subsequent layer based on the solution deployment time. If I have deployed this particular form into multiple solutions, so that solution layer will work based on the installation time, right? So if I have deployed today I have deployed 2 or 3 times, so it will based on the deployment time, this layering part. I hope you understand this part. Explains solution upgrade process. So if they are asking, if you are working on the solution deployment process, so there is a solution upgrade process. So what it mean, how to upgrade our solution here, right? So here create a upgrade solution like a either patch or a clone. So here export as managed solution, export into the target environment, system create holding solution, apply upgrade, old component remove automatically. So suppose if you want to, upgrade, or you want to delete some managed component from the your managed component which you already have, if you want to delete those component, or if you want to upgrade their customization, so how to do this one? So this is the same process, like we are creating a solution here with a specific version. Specific version means incremental version of that particular solution. Then we have to do the same process, export it, import into the target environment. Once we are upgrading, when we are importing that one, so we have a option. So either upgrade this one, this particular one. So okay, let me tell you one more thing. So it will help you a lot. I will. I want to show one screen where we have that option. we have override and upgrade, two options when we are upgrading our solution here. See here, I just want to showcase. See, we will get this particular screen when we are doing the deployment. So upgrade, stage for update, and stage for upgrade. Update, not recommended. Maintain, customization, recommended. Override, customization, not recommended. So this particular information you should understand what is the meaning of those particular steps. If you don't have this information, don't do the deployment, even especially for production, because this is very uh, useful information. Otherwise you can lose the data, you can lose the production, customization also. So if we are talking about upgrade, upgrade means this option upgrade your solution to the latest version and roll up all previous patch in one step. Any component associated to the previous solution version that are not in the newer solution version will be deleted in upgrade, right? So we were discussing about this particular upgrade option. Hope you understand this one. So if you are deploying that one as a managed solution, so you have this option. So stage for update, this option update your solution to the higher version, but defer the deletion of the previous version and any related patch until you apply a solution upgrade later. So suppose if you don't want to delete any existing component which are not part of this particular solution, suppose I will tell you, I just want to explain you one information here. Just try to concentrate this one. Suppose if solution 1 version 1, I have suppose 20 component. In version 2 B2 I have 19 component. So what it will do if I'm going to choose update, upgrade option. Upgrade means if I'm going to publish this B2 and B2 component, so any component either be missed by mistake or we especially missed that particular component. Suppose in this particular component, I just want to delete one field. I cannot delete any managed component directly in the production due to some dependency. If I want to delete, so this is also very important question. Like, hey, if I have a requirement, we want to delete one field from the production, which is a managed component. How to proceed further? How to delete that field? This is a very or frequently asked question related to this deployment series. So you, if you told this particular answer, A, we have to create a upgrade solution and then we have to choose upgrade option while deploying if we want to delete a managed component. Then they will tell you, yeah, he is the one who know the purpose of this upgrade option. But this is very dangerous. If you selected, suppose if you selected this stage or update, so stage for updates is recommended even you have not selected, or if you have not added this particular field, suppose x1, or so this will keep, this will be available even in the production environment even if you have imported this particular solution. So upgrade option is for deleting the previous unwanted component. Update, this option replace your solution with the this version. Components that are not in this newer version not deleted and will remain in the system. Even here, if you have 20 component and if you have 19 component, so it will available in this version, in this solution we will have 19 component, but this particular field will not delete here. So update, stage for update, upgrade, or update not recommended. Even we have here the second option, previous customization on the component include the solution. Maintain customization recommended. This option maintain any unmanaged customization perform on the component, but also implies that some of the update include in the solution will not take effect. Override customization. So this option overrides or remove any unmanaged customization previously performed on the component in this solution. So if you are choosing override, it will completely remove any unmanaged customization in the production environment. So if you have done anything, if you have added any JavaScript file which you directly change in the production environment, it will remove that unmanaged solution if you choose this second option. I hope you understand this part. This is very useful or informatic information that I would like to share with you also. Now we will go. I hope you understand this one. Correct? Yes or no? Or you have any doubt? Just try to give yes or no. It will not take much time. It will this will help me to, yeah, either you are listening, you are at least concentrating here. So try to involve here. Okay. So what is the patch solution? We already discussed. Patch is a small component which we are trying to deliver. So for any bug fixing, minor changes, emergency production fix, and what advantage, what types of advantage we have. So we have faster deployment, reduce, risk, small package size. So even how to create a package here. I hope you understand that part. We already covered that in our previous batch, but let me show you how to create a patch. Suppose this is our main solution here. I want to create a patch here. So clone a patch or clone a solution. Clone a patch, suppose. It will ask a version here. So let me try to, here it already included a here next version. So let me try to create a new version here. So it has created a patch related to this one. So now let's create, we can add a small component into this particular solution. So by default, we don't have any component, but it will require this particular solution. So if we already have this training solution deployed in the target solution, then only we can import the solution. Otherwise, it will ask for dependency. So here, if I want to add a small component here, suppose I want to increase one field, size, so I can add that one, and I can export, and I can even uh, suppose we have already contact form into this one. So I can add one. So one form. So this particular form I want to add, and I want to change something. What I want to change? Suppose I need to change one level name. So I can export it and I can deploy it. So anything which I need to deploy, into the production, I can do with the help of this particular process. Hope you understand. Limitation, cannot add new component outside parent solution scope. So suppose in this particular one, if I already have this training solution. So the limitation here is whatever component we are having in this particular solution. So suppose we have here one web resource. If I want to add any new web resource which I have created recently, I cannot create a patch and I cannot move into the here. I can move only this contact driven library component. I cannot move even any tables information which are not available in this particular solution. If suppose I want to add a account form here, I cannot do. So these are the limitations here. So if you know this one, you can uh, you can rock your difference between clone and clone a patch. So I hope you understand clone a patch, combine patches, create new version, clone a patch used after multiple patch, used for major release, clone a solution, then keep same base version, increment major or release version. So if we are moving some additional or some big release, then we are using a clone solution. Otherwise, a clone a patch we can utilize. So I just want to explain you one more here information. Suppose if we have anything, any change related to those 20 component, I can create a clone a patch, clone a patch here. Otherwise, if I have to add any component or any other features I need to add outside those 20 components, suppose I need to send 25 component, so 5 new component I need to add. So I cannot use clone patch, I need to create a clone solution, so that I can add some additional here component into this particular solution. Understand? Right? Okay, let's quickly move. How to do you move solution between environments? We have, we know about this particular one. What is the connection reference here? Have you created any here Power Automate or MS Flow? So the connection reference. Otherwise, we will discuss in next session, maybe from tomorrow, and we will cover today ALM process, and then we can proceed for Power Automate. Avoid hard code connection, e.g., deployment between a brand environment, better ALM support, Outlook connector, SharePoint connector. I will show you what is the use of this one. Connection reference, stored connector, connection information used for Power Automate flow or apps. We'll discuss tomorrow in details. What are the environment variable here? Do you have any idea like when we have to use environment variable and what is the purpose of those environment variable? Any any information if you have related to this environment variable, when we have to use environment variable? I hope you understand how to create an environment variable, right or not? Suppose I will give you one real time example here. Suppose one thing, you need to send some email into the production, like I have actual users, like suppose John, name is John. So we have a email ID at the rate, suppose uh, so this is the actual user that we need to send a email notification. We need to create a process. We need to create a Power Automate where I need to send a email notification for this particular user. So I need to send a email with the help of Power Automate where I need to define, like I need to send this particular user. How to achieve that information? I have two options. I this data is related to the production environment. So I cannot create this user into a dev environment, UAT environment, so that I can test this validation. So I have to do this validation with our test environment or with our development environment or for a developer email ID. Suppose I have my email ID at the rate this one, so I can test my email ID. So there is no impact. I can even validate the actual email content for this particular user in dev or maybe in staging or UAT or anywhere. So I cannot add the actual users for testing purpose. I have to do some development with non production environment user information, so that at least I can do validation. Why I cannot use this one? What is the harm? So if we are utilizing the actual user, they may get multiple notification. Hey, we are doing test email. Can you test this record? Can you approve this email? Or maybe you have received, suppose any policy or any insurance related information. So we are sending multiple email notification. Hey, your email, your phone number is updated. Your email ID is updated. We are sending multiple email notifications, so they may call like, hey, who is updating our email ID, who is doing our personal level information updation? Then we have to send a email notification, hey, sorry, this information we are doing in our lower environment. Then they can ask, hey, why you are sending those multiple email notification to me? So they may frustrate related to this one. Hey, they, if they are getting actual email notification like, hey, your email ID is updated, your mobile number is updated, so they are thinking, hey, someone is doing some testing. Don't worry. And if this is related to your banking system and you may get multiple notification due to some different testing, maybe someone can update your mobile number and they can cheat like anything. So this is not the best practice. We actually have a option so that at least for non-production environment, we should not send any notification to the actual user. That's why this particular environment variable or configuration entity comes into the picture. How to do this level of configuration? So in lower environment, we can testing with our email ID. So either we can inform, we can add, or we can create some configuration record, like suppose a configuration entity. We have created a configuration entity. So here we have a name and we have a key and we have a value. So in name, suppose we have added like email notification for whatever we have for approval. So here we can add some information here. So based on this one, even if needed, we can add the email ID. Sometimes we have to add some key and value, so we can maintain that email ID here. So for dev environment, I have added the same thing. So dev environment, I can add my email ID, and in production, maybe in prod with the same key, because anyhow we have to get. So I'm taking some additional time, but I just want to explain you in detail so that you can understand. So in prod, so how we are checking, like we are retrieving email key from this configuration entity with this particular name. So what could be the or data query, or maybe Power Automate query? So we are selecting tables configuration entity. We are selecting where name equal to this email notification for approval, and we are selecting key so that we can retrieve. So in dev environment, we are getting this email ID, and in production, we are getting this email ID. So we can achieve those information dynamically. So these are the dynamic configuration we are having to retrieve those email ID so that we can send the notification. Similarly, if we don't want to implement the same thing, so what we have to do, we have a option, we can create environment variable, and whatever environment variable we are having, that those information, those value, so it will ask when we are deploying from one environment to another environment. So if we are deploying those environment variables, so we can set those information, so it will read environment these value from the environment variable, and it will treat like they will send email notification to those particular email ID. I hope you understand why we are creating those particular information. So here we can create environment variable. So like what could be the environment variable name here? So description here, even we can choose the data type, if it is a number, or if it is a secret, if it is a text box, so even we can define that one. So default value we can set here. So what types of default value here? If we are creating this information in dev environment, maybe I can add my information here, default value, and even here I can save it. Okay. So likewise, whenever I am deploying this environment variable from this solution, this sales trial environment to QA environment, it will ask, hey, what could be the value here for this environment variable? I can read this environment variable and I can use in my Power Automate. So I can read that information directly. I hope it's clear for everyone. The purpose of environment variable, how to use those one, and what is the benefit to have those environment variable. Okay. So what is holding solution? Holding solution is a temporary solution created during stage upgrade. Purpose: compare old and new version, remove deleted components safely, use in stage to upgrade deployment method. Okay. So holding, if we are deploying that one, so we can compare, we have that option here. So if you want some more information related to this holding, how to do this one, so now you have a option. So explain CI/CD in D365. CI/CD is continuous integration, continuous deployment, pipeline flow. We will discuss when we will create a pipeline, and then I will show you how we can utilize. Developer commits code, building pipeline, validates, export solution, run automatic checks, deploy automatically to environment, faster deployment, reduce manual work, better quality, traceability, Azure DevOps, or GitHub's actions. So how to create that one? So now I just want to explain you some basic things. So suppose as of now, if we need to do the deployment, so manual, what is the deployment process we are having here. So deployment process we have to create a, first we have to create a solution, then we have a option export it or run a solution checker, that is also a option export it, then import into target solution. If it will check the dependency and everything, and then if there is no issue it will imported and publish the customization, right? So this particular normal process we are following. So but in this one we don't want to do the manual automation task, manual this activity. Maybe what happens sometime, suppose if we have exported this solution, so I have multiple versions here, x1, x2, x3 or x4. So there might be some scenario, some chance like one developer has selected old version, because manual we can do some here wrong process. We sometimes we don't know, because this is a manual activity. We may select wrong solution here and we can do the wrong deployment. So to avoid any such incident, we have to perform the automation task. So we have a option like whenever we have created a solution, we can directly deploy into one environment to another environment. So now in a day, we have a pipelines option. We can create a pipeline from here itself, and we any pipeline which is available, so we can choose that pipeline and we can move that pipeline from here to another environment. I will tell you how to create a basic pipeline so that it can choose the multiple deploy that environment, because we, let's see if we can create two or three here environment and we can utilize to deploy from one environment to another environment. But that is the process we are following here. What is the PAX CLI? Power Platform Command Line Interface. PAX CLI is Power Platform Command Line Interface. It is command line tools used to automate and ALM activities. What is the ALM activities here? With the help of CLI option, CLI, PAX CLI, we can do the import export activity, right? Deploy pipeline, export command, PAX solution export. Okay, so same thing, we can use the deployment with the help of PAX CLI. So these are the basic questions related to the solution deployment. What is the solution packager? So solution packager extract CRM solution files into the solution controlled folder, GitHub friendly structure, easily version control, better manage. So here what we can do, suppose if we are doing patch and clone. So if we are doing patch and clone, so it's very important we should have the base solution available. If we don't have base solution, so it's very difficult sometimes to create a patch and we have to perform this activity. So if patch solution is not there in the target solution, so we cannot utilize this particular entire process. So we have to maintain the versioning of all our available solution. So with the help of this solution packager, we can export and we can utilize those solutions here. So how do you handle deployment rollback? So strategy is straightforward. If we have managed solution, we can do the even we can take the backup, restore environment backup, re-import previous managed version, use patch rollback, use staging deployment, stage deployment, best practice updates, production backup before deployment. So what is the backup plan here we have? So backup is always we can take, even we are deploying something in the production environment, so we can take a production backup environment so that we can utilize. But we don't want to do this activity anymore, because if we are doing this deployment, so we can lose some data. Even we have to do this rollback activity. What is the dependency in solutions? What are dependency in solutions? Suppose we how to check even the dependency. Let me show you. Suppose if I want to check the dependency in one of the form, so even if, suppose here, because if I want to move this particular form into the production, so it is not every time I need to check like how many component I need to add as part of the solution deployment. So we should know here how to check this particular component. Oh, this is here in the patch. Let me try to check the dependency here. So here in this particular one, so dependency, I can check how many, component we have to add as part of this particular component. So likewise, we can check the dependency. How do you identify unmanaged, customization in the production? Like I already checked, I already showcased. Like you can check the other tools also here. Explain manage environment. Manage environment is governed features in Power Platform, usage insights, pipeline, security governance, sharing control, AI-based recommendations. Like who will use the production environment, what types of uh, roles we are having in different users. Plugins works in dev but fails in productions. How do you troubleshoot? This is the common ask questions we have, right? So we already discussed this particular one in our previous session as well. Check plugin trace, validate security roles, check missing environment variables, verify external API URLs, check sandbox isolation, validate assembly version, review dependency issues, missing privilege, common issues, different data, missing configuration, network restrictions. So these are the possible options we may get after troubleshooting the issues, but these are the basic cause we have. How do you manage multiple developers in CRM projects? You know, so how, suppose if in dynamic CRM, it is not like one person has to develop everything. So we have to utilize our here. So best practice here is separate features branches. Source control. Source controls means our that we have to choose the code from the branch only. It is not like we can anyone can do anything from CRM itself. Modular solutions, code review, CI/CD pipeline, Git, Azure. Yeah, those are the basic things. ALM best practice in the D365 CRM. So let's try to complete this one quickly. We are over the time. Recommended best practice: use managed solution for production. ALM best practice: maintain proper versioning, use source control, use environment variables, use connection reference that we will learn tomorrow, implement CI/CD, avoid unmanaged production changes, take backup before deployment. So this is very most important part. If you are telling this one during your interview, so it's very useful for everyone. Validate dependency, maintain separate environment here. Explain real-time enterprise deployment strategy. So this one we already discussed here. What is a solution segmentation? Solution segmentation means include only required component instead of full entry metadata. Benefit small solution. Suppose what happens sometimes, I will tell you. If we are moving everything, every component in suppose we have created one base solution is contain 200 or 2000 components in a solution. So even if I need to change, I need to move only one component means I have a name field in lead entity. I have a name field. I need to increase the size here 150 character to 150 character to 200 character. So what to do? I need to add this particular one, but I need to deploy this entire solution again. Why? I have suppose flow, and suppose 200 flow I have here. I need to turn on and turn off all the flows. I need to check if flows are impacting or not. I need to do entire regression testing, even if I need to deploy only one component. Then why I need to move those entire solution? So I have that flexibility. I can create a patch here. I can create a patch and I can add only this particular single component. I can deploy it quickly. I can do this particular task within 30 minutes. Then why I need to do this entire deployment and I need to validate, and there is a validation activity also. So segmentation is a very important part. Only import include only those components which are required. So explain blue green deployment concept. Blue environment current production, green environment new deployment process, deploy to green, validate, switch users, keep blue as rollbacks, benefit minimal downtime, faster rollback, safer deployment. This is different concept that we are utilizing here, but let's see what are the common ALM mistake. These, if you are using something, so you should know what is the common mistake most of the developers they are doing. So they are doing direct production changes. If a developer has production environment access, they are doing direct production environment access here. So we should avoid this direct production deployment access. No source control. They don't have any PR process. They don't have any source control process. If CRM environment crash, they lose everything. They can lose everything. Large monologistic solutions here. No rollback strategy here. Hard coded values, manual deployment, no environment variables. So we discuss those points. Why environments variables comes into the picture? They are hard coding the values, so they are changing. They are keep changing. Suppose if I need to, send one email notification in with the help of JavaScript, so they are hard coding those values. Like I have showcased this particular scenario, like they are hard coding these value, like in dev environment or in test environment they are hard coding like Sunil Kumar, and they are using this they are changing this web resource in the production directly, and they are updating these values directly. Why? So these are the common mistake they are doing. What is your recommended ALM architecture to enterprise CRM answer? So this is recommended architecture. Maybe this is especially for architect or senior developers. So recommendation is the Git repository, Azure DevOps, pipelines, build validations, manage solution generation, and SIT or UAT deployment, and then production release. So these are the commonly asked questions related to these specific features. I will share, some commonly asked question related to the plugins and custom code activity and customer action also. If you know you need it, you have to read it carefully, so that you should grab and you should impress your interviewer within that time of span. Hope you understand. You have anything? Otherwise, we can drop here for today. Let me know if you have any question, anything which we can, discuss tomorrow early. We will start tomorrow Power Automate, which is a very powerful tools which we are utilizing now in a day, and then maybe we can utilize our weekend time for more discussion related to our how to crack a CRM interview, especially for higher experience, even if they have lacks coding experience. So let's connect this Saturday and we'll discuss further. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.